Teofimo Lopez versus Pedro Campa. Who wins and why? Knuckleheads, welcome to the official prediction for Lopez versus Campa in what is going to be a very interesting and intriguing matchup. And the reason it's so interesting is there are so many questions and variables that we don't know the answers to, and we won't know until Saturday. Now, let me explain what I mean, right? So first and foremost, Teofimo Lopez, guys, is coming into this fight coming off of the most devastating fight of his career, where he not only lost his undefeated record in boxing, he lost all of the titles that made him the undisputed champion of the world. And listen, he has not processed this defeat properly, if you ask me, right? He's still taking the position that he believes he won the fight, despite the fact that pretty much every boxing fan that watched that fight thought he got beat. You know, another thing I want to add is, besides the fact that he lost, it's the manner in which he lost that makes this concerning, because he didn't fight his fight. He allowed George Kambosos to go ego to ego with him and pull him out of his fighting style and make him kind of blow his wad in that first round. And that spelled the beginning of the end, if you ask me, for Teofimo Lopez. So he wasn't composed. He lost his undefeated record. He lost his titles. We all expected more. And on top of it, we have the situation medically, right, where Teofimo Lopez was allegedly diagnosed with pneumomediastinum, which is essentially a air bubble that somehow is trapped or formed in your chest cavity. And it could have resulted in his death, apparently, right, according to what he's saying and what the doctors told him and so on and so forth. So we don't know what we're getting in Teofimo Lopez in this fight against Campa. Is he going to be the same as far as his confidence goes, coming off such a devastating loss? Is he going to be the same medically? Is he going to be the same at 140 pounds, right, because he's never fought there, against a guy in Campa who's 140 pounds? And that brings us over to Campa, right? The natural 140-pounder. 5 years older at 30 years old versus Teofimo's 25, meaning that Campa is in or around his prime, whereas Teofimo is not. He's won 4 fights in a row, as far as I know, so he's got momentum on his side. He's the taller man, not just the bigger man. He's the taller man at 5'10", I believe, versus Teofimo's 5'8.5". And what makes him scary is he's an unknown commodity. 34-1-1 in his record. He's got a pretty high knockout ratio. And you're giving this guy who's never fought outside of Mexican domestic level a chance to become a superstar. And if you could look at him today at weigh-in, this guy's in shape and ready to make the most of his opportunity. And let me tell you guys something, right? If this guy somehow upsets the apple cart, and follow me on these food puns, if he upsets the apple cart here somehow and pulls away this win, I won't be surprised, because it wouldn't be the first time that a promoter's reached out to Mexico for food, right? And instead of getting food for his A side, has come up with a banana skin with some prunes in it and giving him diarrhea, because listen, this guy could easily upset the apple cart. It sounds like the perfect storm to a potential upset, right? With all these factors we're talking about. That being said, you know, at the end of the day, you know how I am on this channel. I got to go with resume. I got to go with skills. I got to go with technique. From what I've seen from Campa, he essentially has 2 punches from the outside, which are the left hook and the right hook. And he's got 2 punches on the inside, which are the left uppercut and the right uppercut. I don't expect a guy that's this basic to beat a Teofimo Lopez, but it's going to depend on what Teofimo Lopez we get. If Teofimo allows the machismo to take over one more time, right? And I'm using the word takeover on purpose here. If he allows the takeover to be taken over by the machismo, he could have a long night on his hands. And he could come away with a career-ending loss, because we know how fickle boxing fans are. 2 losses in a row would be devastating for this guy's career. However, if he fights the way we know he can fight, if he stays composed, if he boxes, if he counters, if he fights in spurts instead of going into an all-out brawl with this guy Campa, which is Campa's only chance of winning if you ask me, then it should be, I think, a mid to late stoppage for Teofimo Lopez. That's going to be my prediction on this fight. I would say a late stoppage comfortably, or a comfortable unanimous decision perhaps, because we're at a heavier weight and the guy will have more punch resistance, and he's a very tough looking young Mexican who is going to take advantage of this opportunity that you're giving him. Big shout out to Mexico. So that being said, knuckleheads, that's my prediction. I want to know in the comment section below what you guys think is going to happen in this fight. We'll discuss. After you do that, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the channel to help me grow for just $9.99 a month. Remember, all the money you invest on this channel is going right back in to the promotion and to the channel. And we've got FightersRep 15 coming to the Commerce Casino in less than 4 weeks, actually 3 weeks at a day, on September 3rd. Join us. Get your tickets at FightersRep.com. This is going to be the best striking show you've ever seen in your life. Non-stop kickboxing action. If you can't make it for whatever reason, if you can't make it, join the channel. That's the only way to watch. Just $9.99 a month. Cancel anytime. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this. I can't wait for this fight, and I can't wait also for FightersRep 15 on September 3rd. Let's hear it. Let's see what you guys got to say.